أكبر الله أكبر.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Alhamdulillah. This class of Makharij al-Huruf was-Sifat, points of articulating the letters of the Quran and the Sifat and how they are recited. We have, by the grace of Allah, finished the Jawf. We know that the Makharij, the areas of articulation, are 5. Al-Jawf, Al-Halq, Al-Lisan, Al-Shafatan, Al-Khayshum. طيب يا إخوة، Al-Jawf, we have finished the Jawf. What is the Jawf? هو الفراغ الخالي في الفم. It is the في الفم والحلق. It is the empty space that is in the mouth and the throat. In it are 3 letters, al-alif, wal-waw, wal-ya, al-maddiyya. In it are the 3 letters of elongation, the alif, waw, wal-ya. Na'am. How is the alif pronounced? By opening up your mouth and opening up your throat. What does it mean, opening up your throat? It means to leave your tongue on its natural disposition and don't raise up the back of your tongue. That which is connected to the alif is what? The fatha. What is the fatha? Or what is harakat? These harakat al-thalatha, what are they? We said at al-harakat, ab'ad al-huruf al-maddiyya. They are the portions and the parts and the pieces of the letters of elongation. And that the fatha wa ba'd al-alif, and that the fatha is a part of or some of the alif, or juz'un min al-alif. Al-fatha juz'un min al-alif. The fatha is a portion of the alif. All the best that what you said, Ibn Jinni, he mentioned in his book, Sir Sana'atul I'rab, that those before him used to call the fatha al-alif al-qasira, the short alif. Then we have the ya. How is the ya pronounced? The ya is pronounced by raising up the middle of the tongue and raising up the middle of the tongue and lowering the tip of the tongue. B, what, T. So you have ba, B, ta, T. The masala is not a masala of the side of the mouth, which is called ibtisam, which is called the smile, that you move that. No, the masala or the issue concerning the kasra is the issue of the tongue, raising the middle of the tongue and lowering the tip of the tongue. This is the ya. Rahim, Alim, Rashid, Naam, Al-Alameen, Mu'mineen. And that which is connected to this is the kasra. We can say ya or we can say kasra. Basically, they are the same. But verily, al-kasra is ba'dul ya, is some of the ya or portion of the ya, or juz'un min al-ya, is a portion of the ya. Or the best that what you said, that the kasra, ya'un qasira, it's a short ya. That's when you say b, not when you say b. So just as the alif has a makhraj, then the fatha has a makhraj. And just as the ya has a makhraj, like that, the kasra has a makhraj. You can't just say rasuli, you have to say rasuli. Nah. You can't say ulaika, you have to say ulaika. You have to actually go out of your way to articulate it correctly. The last of it is the waw, and the waw is from the jawf by moving the 2 lips forward. Naam, as much as you can, Naam, and that which stems from it is the dhamma. And the dhamma is what? Ba'dul waw. It's a portion of the waw, or juz'un min waw, a piece of the waw, a portion of the waw. And the best that is said is that what? أنه واو قصيرة. That is a small wow. That one you say boo, and this one you say boo. Then yesterday we took our issue of at-tarji'. What tarji' is if there comes a sukoon after a dhamma, then you have to put your lips forward for that dhamma, but you have to move them back for the sukoon, like muslimun. Even a tanween, a dhammatain, like mun, you have to go mun. For that noon, you have to bring your lips back. So sometimes in one word, barakallahu fikum, I give you all an example that you have to move your lips back and forth several times. So yeah, inshallah. There's an ayat at the end of Surah Al-Hashr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Huwa Allahu alladhi la ilaha illa huwa al-malikul quddusus salamul mu'minul muhayminul azizul jabbarul. All of them have a dhamma, then the alif lam. Dhamm or alif lam. And we in the classes in Tajweed, they take that ayah in particular and have the students يتدرب عليه, to exercise on that. الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر. All of them is a sukoon after a dhamma, sukoon after dhamma, sukoon after dhamma. That's Surah Al-Hashr. That's third to the last verse. Look at this word here. طيب الحياة دنيا. Okay, let's look at this dal. This dal is mushaddada. What does mushaddada mean? Huh? Mushaddad means that it's what? It's two dals. So we have al-haya, tud, that's a dhamma. Then you have this dhamma, and then that sukoon. Na'am. So you have tud, dun. You have tud, dun. Na'am. Al-haya, tud, dun, ya. Al-haya, tud, dun, ya. And there's others that are more difficult than that, because you have to go forward and backwards, forward and backwards. Call it what? Tarji'. Raja'a means to return. You have to make your tips go back. That was our last lesson that we have taken. Now we're going to move into what? Al-halq. The day before we move into the halq, we want to understand how are the sounds generated. This is what we want to take today. Barakallahu feekum. This is the mouth here. This is the tongue. This is the throat. These are the lungs of Bani Adam. These are the lungs. The air comes out of the lungs. And it comes up through the air pipe. When it comes up to the air pipe, there's a voice box that gives this air voice. Ah. Ah. It becomes sound. Type, this air is coming out here. It's coming out. This air comes out here. The makhraj هو المكان الذي يولد الصوت. Is the place where the sound comes out of. Listen to this, barakallahu fikum. Every sound that occurs, it comes from التصادم وتقارب. You have to have two bodies. When I say bodies, two things. It could be the tongue and the roof of the mouth. It could be the two lips. Two things must collide together for there to be a letter. Two things must collide together. Oh, come close together. If it's not a collision, they come close together for there to be a sound. So you have to know what are these two things and bring them together. When you bring these two things together, you've got the makhraj, the place where it comes out of. How are you going to bring it together? Are you going to bring it together hard? Are you going to bring it together softly? That has to do with the sifat, how you do it. Makhraj means where. When you say makhraj, where? Where are these 2 points at? There has to be two bodies, two entities that collide together for any harf, except those huruf that we just finished from what? Al-Jawf. Those don't need two entities that collide together. Rather, the tongue takes a different shape in the Jawf, in that empty space in your mouth, so the sound comes out different. A, E, O. So you all bear with me. This is the throat. This is the mouth. The air is coming up. 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 It's going. It's going. It's going down the road. It's going down the road. It's going. It's going down the road. Two entities came together and stopped the sound. It's going. What happened? Something happened. Two entities came and crashed on this sound as it was going, minding this business. It was going. Something happened. What happened? Two entities collided together to create this sound. Something happened. Something happened. Now, so no letter. There is no letter except it is by tasadum bayna udwain. At-tasadum means the clash. Udu is a member of your body. Udwan. Udwain, two members of the body colliding together. It has to occur. How they collide, that's another issue. But our issue is makhraj. Makhraj means the place where the sound originates, is created. So when you're doing makhraj, you want to know where. Once you get all the places where, then you want to get how are they collided together. Naam, so now these days we are in. For example, let's look at the calf. Let's look at these letters. Let's look. I'm going to draw these letters in the throat and the mouth. This is your throat. This is your mouth. Type. This is your tongue. In the throat is what? The hamza and the ha. That's in your throat. You have in your throat something like that. It's called a string. You have these two witr. You have these two strings. When you bring it together and you make it like this, and you bring it together, they stop the sound. You go ma wa like you say as-sama. You cut it. You cut it. In your throat, you have two strings, like the strings they use the example, and I was trying to think of another example, but I didn't find it. But they use like the string of a guitar, the strings on a guitar. That little rope, that is not a rope, it's thinner than a rope. You have that in your throat. It's shaped like that. When it's open, the flame goes. How did it stop? What happened? These two things collided. So they came together and they stopped the flow of air. So you say, ma'wahum. You say, ma'wahum. Ma'wahum. Tayyib. Let's go back. The ha, for example, the ha, this you have this is in your throat. The sound is coming up through it. The sound is coming up. The sound is coming up. The sound is coming up. When you close it, the sound stops. What's the difference? If the ha and the hamza is in the same makhraj, then what's the difference? These two things are in your throat. The sound is coming up. Sound is coming up. In the ha, you just close it a little bit. They come close together. They don't collide. These two strings, they're called autar as-sawtiya. They're called the strings of that create a voice. You bring them close together, and they create what's called the ha. Yeah. Yeah. If you bring them close together softly, but you don't collide them, you just bring them close together, it's called what? Aha. If you bring them close together until they close and they stop it, we call it a hamza. We call it a hamza. This one we say that the letters, they have the same makhraj, but the way that you bring in these two entities together differs. So it comes a different letter. Do we understand that? Ya Muhammad, Ya Isa, you understand that? Tayyib. We're going to move on. Tayyib. This is the tongue. This here is the ain and the ha. How is the ain and the ha? The ain and the ha, it occurs from your tongue moving backwards. You move your tongue backwards. It has to be two things that join one another. What are the two things that join one another in the hamza and the ha? Those two strings. You have to know what two things join together. You control them. Bring together rough. Ma'wahum. Mu'minun. It's not mu'minun. Mu'min. You bring it so hard together that all of the wind and all of the sound stops. So before we go on, understand this. There are letters. In the letters, the sounds flow and the wind flows, meaning continues. Even though there's a sukoon on it, the sound flows and the air flows. Even though I'm making a second. Look at this example. I put a sukoon on it, but the sound didn't stop. Nor did what? The air stop. Like shh. Even though I put these two entities together, but it wasn't so hard that it prevented air or even prevented what? Sound. It continued. If I said as-salasa, I put two things together, but I put it together softly. So the sound continued and the air continued. Now, so there are letters that in it is sound and in it is air. There are letters that there's no sound, no air. Like Adal, Yawmiddin, Yawmiddin. Nothing goes out when I put these 2 points together. It's not me, it's the letter. I have nothing to do with it. It's the letter. Hey, can I say? You know? So Allah, and from these letters, it's the Tor. You got At-Tor. At-Tor. There's no air, there is no wind. It totally stops. It's totally opposite of us. It's totally opposite of ash. These letters, the air stops and the what? The sound stops also. I mean, these ones you have to put the two entities together strongly. Strongly. You have to stop it. Now, there are letters that the sound flows, there's no air in it. There's no air. Like dhalika. You go with is. If you let the air come out, it's going to be something else. Is. You have is. If you stop the air, is. It's the same makhraj, but if I let the air go, as. You have the kha and the ghain, they're in the same makhraj. What is the kha? In it is air and sound. Ekh. If you want the air to flow and the sound to flow, you have to bring these two entities together softly, because the air is flowing. You want to bring it together so harsh that it stops and suppresses the air and the sound. Now you want to bring it to collide them together softly, bring them closely to one another, but you want the sound to flow and the air to flow. When I say flow, it means to continue. So you say, the kha has air and sound. The ghain is in the same place, but there's no air. The sound flows. I mean, you have to be a little more rougher with it. You say, L. So you could have a ghain, for example. Al ghain, it has more pressure than the kha. How do we know? Because the ghain just has sound, no air. You have to use a little bit more pressure to stop the air. But the kha, you want to be soft, that the air and the sound flows. So you can make a ghain, has a little pressure. Then you soften up and let the air flow through. Like you said, L. You control that. I mean, you had a little pressure, just letting the sound go, and then you relax some more, and it became something else. Yeah, Khalil, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, Isa, are you with me? Muwakkil, you understand that? El, as a ghain, Maghdubi, al-Maghdubi. El. How did it become a kha? Because I opened up the area so that the wind also could come, that the air can also come. Na'am. So look at the ain here. This is the ain and the ha. They're in the same makhraj. What does a letter mean that is in the same makhraj? Meaning how you, first of all, what is the two areas that have to meet in these? Every letter, you need to know what are the two entities that collide. Don't tell me that the makhraj is in the tongue. No, that's not enough information. In the middle of the throat, I need to know the two entities that collide so I can strive to intentionally do something. I mean, just say it's in the throat. Well, what do I have to do? So it's the back of the tongue. The back. This is the front of your tongue here. It's the back of your tongue and the back of your throat. You have to bring your tongue backwards until it meets this area. You have to move it backwards. You actually take your tongue and move it backwards into your throat. So if you move your tongue backwards, okay, let's look at these two letters here. Ain and the ha. This is the ain. This is the ha. The ha, there in it is salt, voice, wa nafas. Nafas means air. In it is salt, that's what we put the sword, and in it is the noon, nafas, in it is air. So look, this is the sound, that's the sound. And this is what? The air. The tongue comes back and squeezes up on this. You go, rah, rah, rah. When the sound is going, meaning the sound was going, you pressured up on the sound. The air is just going. You move your tongue back and you pressured up on the air as it was flowing, and this sound came out. This is your tongue here. This is the back of your throat. The air is flowing. You move your tongue a little bit back until it touches it a little bit. It's a little bit, but it's still area to keep on going. You didn't stop it. It's still area to keep on going. The sound's flowing and the air's flowing. You just move your tongue back a little bit, that sound comes out. Okay? But on the ain, what's in the ain? You have to know. The ain, there's no air. There's no air. Totally stops. And the sound, most of it stops. It's just a little sound that flows. That means you have to be strong in it. So while this sound is flowing here, flowing here, flowing here, you move your tongue all the way back there. Not to stop it. There's still a little area for it to go right there. Just a little bit for it to go. So it's say, Iyaka na'budu. Look at the ain. I can stretch the scene. I can't stretch the ain. Nah. Yeah, because there's no place for it. I move my tongue so far back that the ear, and there's no place for it to run. There's no place for it to run. Ya muwakkal, are you with me? No. So that's what? That's the ain and the ha. We're going to take one more so we understand what's going on before we go back and look at each individual letter. Okay? This is our tongue. The tongue has what is called judhur. Judhur lisan is where the tongue is tied at. When you raise this up to the roof of the mouth, this is the roof of the mouth. You have the ghain and you have the kha. You take this and you raise it up there to the roof of the mouth. The end of your tongue where it's tied at. If a tree has roots, where's the roots? At the bottom. Also, the tongue has roots. The root of the tongue. The last thing in your tongue. Now, you raise that up to the roof of your mouth. In the roof of your mouth, look at the roof of your mouth. There's a part that's soft. It gets soft, soft, soft. And then from here, it's hard. From here on, it's hard. But from the back, it's jelly-like. Jelly-like. Then when you come up some here, it gets hard. Okay? This jelly-like area, when you raise up your tongue, the back of your tongue, to this area here, you have the sound flowing. It's flowing. It's flowing. You move it back a little bit, and you just touch that flow. You have you raise your tongue up there. But how are you going to raise it? The kha is not like some people say. They go, no, that's too hard. No, it's so you raise it up a little bit. Now the ghain, what happens on the ghain? The ghain, the sound keeps going, but the air stops. You stop the air. So you have to be a little bit more harder. So tomorrow, we're going to stop here. Tomorrow, we're going to start with what? The hamza and the ha. What are the 2 points that come together? How do we recite it? Now, how is it? You say alhamdu. A lot of people say alhamdu. They don't say alhamdu. They say Like when a doctor puts that wood in that, then they say it's not it's 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 strong. There's one more thing I want to mention, and we're going to stop here. These are the elements, the basic elements of recitation. Not just going to say that's from the middle of the throat and you don't know exactly what to do to get it done right. Tayyib. The letters that have a sukoon on them, like this, up, wa'at, that's a ta, wa'af. This comes by 2 letters colliding together, not 2 letters, 2 entities colliding together. If it's what? If it's a sukoon. It comes from 2 things colliding together. But if it has a fatha or kasra or dhamma, it's by 2 things moving away from one another. You have to join those two things that go ba, boo, be. You mean you bring them together first, then you open them up. But if it's sukoon, you have to bring them together and hold it. Ab, ab. Naam. For what you call that in Arabic, so that you know, and you call that in Arabic, at-tasadum. At-tasadum is to crash. When it's a car crash, you say sadama. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam called it innama sabru inda sadamatil ula. Sabr is at the beginning of the calamity. You can't scream and yell and break up the dishes and scream and yell and it's okay, I'll calm down. No. Sabrun is at the beginning of the sadma, of the crash. Prophet used the word sadma. Fatasadam means two things colliding together. What does the sadam mean? Two things colliding together. This is how the letter that has a sukoon is pronounced. The letters that have a sukoon are pronounced with what? At-tasadum, by crashing, two things colliding together. Whether it's the two lips, whether it's the tongue and the roof of the mouth, whether it's the tip of the tongue, whether the middle of the tongue, it's by two things colliding together. The letters that have what? A sukoon. The letters that are mutaharrik, the letters that have a fatha kasra or dhamma, they are what? What? But taba'ud. Taba'ud means to take two things apart, to make it ba'id, to make it far from one another. The letters that have the fatha kasra or dhamma, you say ka, ku. You have to bring these two entities together first. So you have to know the two entities. Ku, ki, ka, ek. When I made it close, then after I closed everything, I opened up the area a little bit for the sound to come. Ek. This is our lesson for today. Tomorrow we're going to start with the Hamza and the Ha and work our way until we get to the end of the mouth. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu. Please explain the Kha one more time, please. Okay, somebody asked that we explain the Kha one more time, please. Okay, what are the two areas of the Kha? Two areas have to collide. Two areas have to collide. The Kha is from the back of the tongue, the root of the tongue, the roots. Like a tree has roots, the tongue has roots. Any letter, you have to know what are the two things that collide. What are the two things that collide in the Kha and the Ghain? The root of the tongue and the roof of the mouth. That soft meat, you call it al-halik al-lahmi. That soft jelly part in the roof of your mouth, in the back. The back of your tongue, where the back of your tongue is. Where your tongue is tied down to your mouth. That area and that which is adjacent to it, right above it. Now, you have two letters there. This is the back of your tongue, and this is the roof of your mouth. You're going to raise your tongue up there. You just raise it up. You just raise it straight on up. Right? You have two letters there. The Kha. What's in the Kha? Sound and ear. So if it's sound and ear, that means it's soft. If it's no sound, no ear, you have to read it hard. That's what it means. So you have to know beforehand. And the Ghain, what's in the Ghain? There's sound, no ear. Sound, that means it is soft, no ear, got to use a little pressure. The Kha, no, is sound and air flowing. Sound flowing and air flowing, and don't be too hard when you raise it up. So you raise it up. If and the sound is flowing, it's flowing. You raise your tongue up like that. When it hits that flow of air, a sound comes out. Sound comes out. We call it Kha. In another language, they call it something else. In English, we don't have this letter. In English, we don't have that these two entities collide. But we have other entities that collide. For example, in English, we have a P and we have a B. In Arabic, they have the B, meaning two lips collide strongly. No air flows, no sound flows. Rab bil alamin, there's nothing that flows. But the P, the two lips come together, there's no sound, but air goes. They don't have that in Arabic. But it's the same makhraj, but how it's pronounced, what's called sifat, is different. Na'am. So that's the kha and that's the ghain. We're going to go over every letter by itself, so there's no need to rush. We're going to stop here. We ask Allah to accept this from us, jami'an, all of us. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.
One of the words, five words you
Shafatan, the two lips. Al-Khayshum.
Khayshum and Shafatan.
Right, Khayshum and Shafatan. Alhamdulillah.